Hey, hello everyone, and welcome back to a quick garden update. Not really much going on today. This has basically been our first, I guess you can call this a harvest of the year. I have been getting more beans. It's basically mainly beans that I've been getting pretty much every day at this point. We got another one of the longer purple dragon ones, I think they're called. Finally getting a couple of cucumbers in. They're pretty small, obviously. I've been picking them kind of early, just because if I let them grow any more than this, as you can see, they start getting attacked by the animals. So yeah, got actually starting to get some vegetables coming in, which has been nice. But if we go over here, you can kind of see a lot of the vines are starting to die off here. Everything's kind of overgrown. I was not able to get in there and do the weeding I should have this year, just because over the summer I just got so busy with the quail hatching and raising the baby quail. So that was unfortunate, and plus I didn't plan this garden out very well at all, so everything is just majorly overgrown. So I'm not expecting too much too much more as far as cucumbers go. There's a few more starting to grow, one right in front of us, but mainly it's going to be just tons of tomatoes. All the vines are just basically full of tiny little tomatoes right now. So hopefully they'll ripen up soon. We did get a few today, but that was the first small handful we've been able to pick for tomatoes. But if we go down to the other garden beds here, the smaller extra garden bed is doing pretty well still. All of the wheat pretty much it's all been kind of broken over from some really high winds we've had through here from storms, but they all still have the seed heads. So they probably won't be bouncing back because they did break over in there. It looks like it's pretty much at harvest stage just because they're so brittle. So I'm gonna let this all dry out, and then we'll probably just grab the seed heads that look like they're still okay, and then at least collect some of it and try and replant it maybe next year. But again, this garden bed was over planted, and again, I just didn't have the time to get in here and weed everything. None of the tomato plants were completely properly supported. I meant to get more support stick rods or whatever, but that never really happened. I just got too busy during the summer. So again, over here, it's mainly going to be tomatoes. I mean, even though this is all overgrown into pretty much a giant tomato bush, we're still getting several clusters of tomatoes on every single one of the vines, and they're all doing okay. Even though that, like I said, it's just turning into a giant tangled mess over here. Surprisingly, all the plants are surviving, and they're still all developing fruit. So that's good to see. In this tangled mess down here, I was using the fence to try and at least support things a bit. It worked a little bit until they got really heavy with tomatoes, but yeah, there's a bunch down there. Looks like a couple more are getting ready to be ripe enough to harvest. So yeah, just tons of tomatoes everywhere. So at least, if anything, the entire garden didn't fail, at least. And then I thought a lot of the pepper plants were not going to make it. They were really slow growing and way behind schedule. But over the last few days, they've really popped up. Well, this one has at least, and it's starting to actually develop a few green peppers on this one. So probably get a few peppers at least, which is nice to see. If we go back over here real quick, we've got one more pepper plant over here that is starting to really late flower here, and you can see we've got a couple of tiny little peppers starting to develop down there. The only other thing left in this small garden bed then is we got the eggplant plant, which is just actually started flowering about a week ago. So that actually might be starting to develop a eggplant down here. But the problem is, well, with it being the start of September, temperatures around here are going to start getting into the 60s and high 50s overnight. So I feel like a lot of the stuff that, even though it is finally starting to grow really late here, we might just be running out of time in the growing season this year. Yeah, this eggplant one is just started flowering too. So we might be able to hopefully get some late eggplants, but I'm not too optimistic about that. At least we'll have a bunch of tomatoes. I'm just leaving all the green ones on the vine for now, let them plump up a little bit, and just kind of start to ripen, and then we'll pull them off. I know that once you pick them, they'll just continue to ripen on the counter. Other than that, over here we've got our mainly just bean plants left. Almost all of the cucumber plants over that were over here have completely died off. They're still flowering, but yeah, this side never really developed any cucumbers for some reason. Not really sure why. Every now and then you get one started, but birds would get it right away. But the one thing over here that has been thriving has been the bean plants. Got a bunch of tiny baby beans on here getting ready to starting to grow in, which is nice to see. And then in the front here is where the purple dragon ones were. I think that's what they're called. But got a couple more starting to grow here too. So at least the beans are doing really well over here and thriving. Looks like I missed one this morning. We got another one down here we can probably just pick. See if we can get through the fence here. We'll feed it through the bottom. All right, got ourselves another bean at least. And then the main garden, unfortunately, did not work out. There was way too much shade over here. I thought I got it cleaned up most of it before planting, but as far as like getting branches out of the way, but it wasn't enough. Also, when the neighbor built a fence there, that didn't help either. It started blocking the late day sun. The pumpkins kind of given up on that for this year. They grew tons and tons of male flowers all over the place, and they're still doing it even though these vines are dying out. But there only one single female flower with a fruit attached to it actually ever developed. And unfortunately, I didn't get out here fast enough to manually pollinate it, and so that one just ended up dying and rotting. So unless another one develops, but again, we're so late in the season at this point that I don't think we have any hope of getting a pumpkin. The vines have just grown completely out of control, though. I mean, they thrived really well. They're all in the bush here, growing up the bush. The corn that got shaded out by the pumpkins and started getting strangled by the pumpkin vines, obviously, and there was just not enough sun over here. So that was unfortunate. So the corn really didn't survive. The hilarious thing is some of the plants are doing okay, and we're actually starting to develop like really tiny, like baby mini ears of corn. I don't know if we can get one. Yeah, there's one right there. But unfortunately, yeah, there's another. It's trying to make some corn, but it's just not going to work out. So next year, definitely gonna have to put the corn in a different spot, a sunnier spot. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to clear a bunch more brush just to make sure we get sun back here, so that the corn plants actually can grow and thrive. Gonna do something completely different next year with the pumpkins. Obviously, not gonna plant as many, and it was nice doing it raised like this to let the vines grow off the ground. They didn't get this like I think this is frost powder mildew. It didn't get that for quite a while. It just started developing recently, so I think it helped its growth not being on the ground. But the problem with doing that, I found, is that all the leaves up here created a natural canopy, and it just became really difficult to be able to get underneath all the vines and make sure they were properly watered. So that might have been an issue too. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely have to do something a little bit different next year if we do pumpkins. None of the watermelons or cantaloupe survived. They all got shaded out by everything else and overtaken by the pumpkin vines. As you can see, they're invading all the way over here around the fence. These were just the extra bean plants I had, so I just planted them down here. They actually did really well. They produced a bunch of beans. They're still producing a little bit here. The pea plants have basically all died off at this point, but they also produced really well over the first half of the summer, and we're getting I was able to get a couple peas every day or so, but definitely didn't perform as well as I'd like it to. But yeah, at least the beans and tomatoes have been doing very well, so it's not been a total loss this year. And it was just a massive learning experience. But anyway, that's going to be it for this week. Probably wait to do another update until probably towards the end of the month, when maybe we have some more stuff to harvest. And then we'll probably start wrapping things up with the garden stuff for this year, and then maybe do a video about kind of the lessons learned, and just kind of do a full summary of this year, and talk about what we might do for next year. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for stopping by and checking things out, and thanks to everyone who's been along with me for the little gardening journey this summer. And hopefully we'll be able to take the lessons we learned this year and do a lot better next year. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.